Hello everyone and welcome to OST Live, a weekly broadcast on blockchain, branded tokens, and token economies built on OST. Simple Token, also known as OST, is a public blockchain platform that allows businesses to launch their very own branded tokens. Now in this episode, we have one of our very own partners that is creating their own branded tokens, and they are called License Rocks. We have co-founder Daud Zulfikar with us today. Daud, welcome to OST Live.
Hi, nice that you have me here.
So can you tell us about License Rocks?
Sure. License Rocks is decentralized. Our aim is to be a decentralized license framework for digital goods. But in the beginning, we are focusing totally on software. And there we even have a use case of used software, whereby here in Europe, we have like a special use case. Like there's a European court decision that states that if you have like an on-premise software with no time restriction to it, you can sell it. Like in a license agreement, it always states that it's not possible, but they can't overrule European law. And therefore, since it states you have to claim the chain of ownerships, we thought it's like a perfect use case for blockchain, and that's our first approach to go to the market.
Great. So where did the idea for License Rocks develop? Were you in the software licensing space before?
Yeah, we were in the software management space, like my co-founder Frank and I, and we were sitting. Like I dropped my old job and I opened a bar in the Bitcoin street of Berlin. And I was approached all the time by East European travelers which wanted to pay their coffee in Bitcoin. And so I started to look at blockchain. And then one night we were sitting in my bar and we were making fun of all those East European travelers. And then we were thinking about different use cases, and we were making fun of blockchainify this and that and tokenize this and that. And then we said, that's easy to make fun, but let's come up like with a use case that makes sense. And then we looked at our professional experience we made so far, and we thought software licensing is gonna be a cool use case for blockchain.
So can you tell us a little bit about the industry of software licensing? Is it pretty difficult to manage, valid software licenses today?
Yes, it is. There are tons of solutions out there, but the whole market is like really fragmented. There are distributors, resellers, and there's it's not really transparent. And like all those enterprises, they can't really see how they're going to be compliant within their enterprise themselves, because they have the problem that it's every single software publisher has different license models, and coming up with the license itself, there are solution providers for it, but they're really service driven. So you can buy something, but you don't really understand how you handle your licenses, and it's not transparent, it's not easy, and it just adds like a special complexity layer on the whole topic. And that's why we thought there should be an easier way to do that. And why do you need so many people to work on something for a real digitalized good, which is software?
And that easier way will be with blockchain. So blockchain is more transparent. So can you tell us about how blockchain will be implemented?
Yeah, sure. Like in the beginning, we're having something what people call a digital twin, which is just like a representation of the license itself. And that's where we have like an audit trail, and that audit trail kind of shows you like the different ownerships. Like one owner is presented by a public key, and then that ownership or that token is transferred from that one public key to that other public key, which represents the new owner. And we're attaching different claims to it and documents that you need. And also we're having like a QR code. So we're kind of decentralizing the point of sale. So with our solution, you later can then sell software on any kind of website or a marketplace. and you point with your QR code to our audit trail, and there you can see the chain of ownerships, and like that, you know if it's a legit sale.
So with the audit trail, with the chain of ownership, it seems like it's a user to user, right? Like if somebody has a license, it's a user to user transaction. What are the possible transactions that you guys are going to have on the platform? Is it just user to user?
Yeah, as you stated, it's user to user, but it could be also company to company. And we did our first POC also with OST, where we showed that you can create like a license token, and that license token could be then like a company could issue a license token to someone. So it would be enterprise to user, and that user could kind of be enterprise by himself. So it could be enterprise to enterprise or enterprise to user becoming an enterprise, or however you want to call it.
Great. So what are some of the goals with the creation of this token? Is it for that transactional piece?
Yeah, well, the first goal is just the representation part, and like to attach like those different claims that we need there for our use case and documents. And the next goal will be that we have like a generation part where you have a easy to use interface, and with that interface you can create like a license token, and that license token represents the license on chain. And the next part to it will be that we have like a protection part, so we're going to deliver SDKs, and when a software publisher is issuing a software, he has to use that SDK. And then you can think of if you launch a software, and if the software starts running, it checks like, is there a valid license token or not? And if there's a valid license token, then it runs, else it tells you you need that license token. And you could break it down to different feature sets, different versions, and come up with like crazy new license models.
Did you say you were a participant of the OST proof of concept challenges?
Yes,
Great.
we did like all the challenges.
So you're gonna be creating your token via OST using the OST platform to manage your token economy. So what led you to OST? What are some of the reasons for using OST to manage your token economy?
Yeah, we had like from the university here in Berlin, we had like a Berlin scholarship, and in that phase we explored like a lot of things, and then we looked at OST. And OST. I think I saw a presentation of Jason where he showed some slides with like all kinds of different logos of different blockchain companies. You have to look at and decide what you need, of which components you need or solutions you need of each company, and how you get them together. And I thought that's a hell of work, and I could kind of feel that we're in the same phase. And then on the other side, he was talking about UX, and like we always said, like if we are, it was always like when we designed software back then, we always said it's first design, then it should be easy, then it should be really fast, and then comes the function. That's the way how you build up things before good software, before even people were talking about UX. So that was a check for us. And then also we looked at our token model that we envisioned, and it was like a twofold token model. So we had like a token that would create a license token, and that's kind of what OST does as well. And besides that, I had like I went to several blockchain meetings, and I got to know Ben there and Paul. And we always stated like, and I thought they're really nice guys. And we always stated like, whenever we want to work with partners or with any companies, we don't want to work with any assholes. And so they got to check there. They're not any assholes. So that's why we stated we want to work with OST.
Nice. That's great to hear. Now you are here with OST. You've done the proof of concept, and now we're excited. Hopefully, see you go all the way through once it goes to mainnet. So where are you guys in terms of the project as far as progress? Do you already have a user base?
Well, we have at the moment, like in Germany, you have to think of like everything has an association. And we looked at different ways how we can get into the market. And there's an association which is called like the Association of German Insolvency Managers. So I just said for fun, maybe there's something like that. I Googled it up and there is something like that. And it's based in Berlin. And we pitched there our idea because we thought like in insolvency, there are tons of licenses which no one will use. And they stated that's true. And they stated also that the insolvency manager has no clue about it. And but they told us that there's a new industry which is selling all the assets, which are liquidators. So we asked there for an intro. We got an intro and we pitched there. And 4 weeks later, they approached us and they asked us to work with them in the project. And it's by luck, it's like the largest insolvency case in Germany. So we're really keen on iterating our product within that project. And it's a lot of learnings for us. And I think we're about to go out with our first version by mid-November. And right now we're in a closed beta state of it.
That's good. That's very great to hear there. So you mentioned I guess the next step already in November. So beyond that, what are some of the following steps to help License Rocks like really take off?
Yeah, well, the first step is that we're bringing out our product, and there we're concentrated, like I told you before, that every software publisher is like all their license models are a little bit different. So we concentrated on the largest one, which is Microsoft. And that's going to be incorporated in our first product. And second thing we're going to concentrate on is Oracle, because Oracle licenses are pretty expensive and all those different large enterprises. So we have like a partner who's an expert in Oracle licensing. So we stated that would make sense that this is going to be our next step. And after that, by the end of, right now it's planned, software and planning is always a thing. If you're not OST and over deliver, normally takes a while, but you come up with a date and it gets out later. But normally by the end of the first quarter of 2019, it's that we want to have like what we call a tokenizer, and that's going to be that easy interface where you can create your own license token. But let's see how far we get.
Great. And I think this has been a great introduction into learning about License Rocks and how you guys are, implementing the token into your platform and using the OST protocol to do that. So where can people learn more about License Rocks?
Yeah, well, on our website, but we have to state like we don't have like our own marketing department or something like that. So it's kind of difficult for us to do all the writing and marketing. That's why we are really grateful that you guys are having us. But we are concentrating right now just on the financing part and on the building part. So whenever you read a lot of us, that we have tons of new developers probably, or someone in our marketing department, which doesn't really exist at the moment.
Great. And also for the listeners out there, be sure to check out the case study link below, our director of communications for a good case study on Medium. Be sure to check that down in the description below. And yeah, it'd be great to sort of come back in the future and do another interview and see where you guys are at. If you're listening to this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe on our podcast apps. We're also now available on the Amazon Alexa, so you can listen to us in your flash briefing. Dowd, thank you for joining us on OST Live.
Well, thanks for having us here, me, as a representative of License Rocks.